August 6, 1945. The Enola Gay, a US B-29 bomber, dropped the world's first nuclear bomb on Hiroshima. Less than a minute later, around 80,000 people were killed.
I didn't hear sound, the first flash, and everything I was seeing turned white. And then secondary, and the blast attack, the strong wind, I was beating on the road, and then I was unconscious. Then when I opened my eyes, everywhere around me was like this. All houses were, damaged badly. My neighborhood, the roof tiles are gone.
Thousands more would die in the coming days. Keiko Ogura was 8 years old. She remembers the aftermath of the destruction and recalls trying to help the injured.
I found many people squatting on the road, and then many were lying. And so they were asking for water. And one person seized my leg and said, "Give me water," in low voice. Everybody started to say, "Water, water, water," everybody. Because there was a kind of education, I don't know, common sense, that you shouldn't give water to the wounded people. If you give water, they will die immediately. I don't know, I did not know that saying, and the people refused to give water. So many people were so thirsty. So I ran back to my home nearby, and I got the water, and they delivered. People were asking for water. Most of them are so happy, but among them, 2 persons drinking water from me, they died in front of me. That became my trauma.
At the end of World War II, Japan started rebuilding Hiroshima. Half of the population had been wiped out, and tens of thousands suffered from injuries and diseases caused by the radiation. The rubble alone took a decade to clear. Today, the area bears surprisingly few scars from 1945, and tourists visit the Peace Memorial Museum and surrounding gardens. The atomic bomb dome is one of the only reminders of the horrors that took place in Hiroshima. Nowadays, the city looks like most others around the world. But for those who survived the atomic bomb, life could never be the same.
It is so difficult for survivors to tell our stories. I didn't tell my story 50 years because I was worrying about the genetic problem. And of course, I have 2 children, they are fine. But until the last moment, I was worrying, are they fine or not?
Erika Abiko runs the Social Book Cafe. It's a place where young people and tourists can meet survivors.
I want people to come here and make friends with the survivors. It's so important to meet face to face. We hold these workshops and events so that the younger generation can make friends with the survivors. That way they want to fight for their friends, and it makes it more real when your friends tell you what happened.
The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum holds important memories. At the center is a flame that burns all year round.
The
flame will burn until there are no more nuclear weapons. The question is, which will come first? The extinction of the flame or the end of humankind? Even though there is a threat that nuclear weapons could fall on you tomorrow, many people do not have a sense of crisis. It's important that people understand how dangerous nuclear weapons are.
Many of Hiroshima's survivors don't speak about the past. For some, it's too painful. Others fear the stigma associated with radiation poisoning.
And the bomb.
It took Keiko Ogura decades to share her story. Now she's devoted her life to raising awareness of the devastation caused by nuclear weapons.
A single bomb can destroy whole the world. Knowing that living with a nuclear weapon is a menace, and always We live with death, next to death, I feel.
The flame at the Peace Memorial will only be extinguished once the world is rid of its nuclear arsenal. It's unlikely Hiroshima survivors will see that day, but many, like Keiko, hope the next generation will continue her fight and eventually put out the fire. Lance Santos, TRT World, Hiroshima.